Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start with your first English lesson, which is letter writing. And the topic that we are going to deal with under letter writing is informal letters or friendly letters. You're already familiar with how to write an informal or a friendly letter. You know that these are letters usually written to family, friends, and people that you know personally. Now, while writing this letter, keep in mind that the language of your letter must be simple, must be descriptive, and must be expressive as well. Now, remember that the letters, like these letters, must always be written from the left-hand margin. So, follow that format, which you will find in the next slides. Coming back to the points to remember again, you must keep in mind that if you're writing a letter to somebody who is close to your age, like a friend or a cousin or a sibling, like your brother or sister, in that case, you can write dear and the first name of that person. Like if you're writing a letter to your friend, then dear Alex, as is given in the example. Another way of writing it is my dear Alex. Now in this case, if you're writing my dear Alex, then the first alphabet of my must be in capital letter, dear must never begin in capital, and Alex, since it's a proper noun or the name of your friend, must begin with a capital letter. So these are the two ways in which you can start your letter, the salutation part, if you're writing to a person who is closer to your age. Now, if you're writing to your mother, your grandparents, or your uncle, in that case, please do not use any short forms. Like you cannot write dear mom or dad or grandpa, grandma. These are incorrect. Dear mother, dear grandfather, dear grandmother, dear father. These are the correct usage of language. You can also never use Hindi or Bengali language in order to address your parents or your grandparents. For example, you cannot write dear Nani because Nani is not an English word. So you cannot use that. Then we come to the content of the letter. As you already know that a letter must have minimum 3 paragraphs, an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Now the introduction, when you're writing an introduction to your letter, it should never begin with a question. Like you cannot start your letter writing how are you or how have you been. This is not the correct way. It should always